Hello, I'm Lee, and this is the August Energy Update. Every month, I take the pulse on some of the energetic themes that we might be experiencing right now or that are due to show up in the month and months to come. A few of the headlines for this month are: we are becoming new at an all new speed, and we will go through some of what that shows up as. Planetary sustainability coming into sharper focus now and in the months to come, and surprises, creation, and instant transformations will be the bright spots energetically in the month of August and beyond. Stay tuned for the full update. Hi, welcome to the full update for August 2021. And if you are a regular over here on my channel, or if you want to know whenever we get more content released, we usually release 3 videos a week, you can subscribe on YouTube. And also, I wanted to share with you, thank you for all of your beautiful feedback about the Transmissions album that we released last month. You can now stream it, download it, get a CD over at transmissionsalbum.com. So check that out if you haven't had chance, and thank you to all of you for sharing your enjoyment of it. Okay, the themes for August. So it's interesting. Well, one thing that came to me very strongly when I started work on the themes yesterday is that this is very much a year of two halves, and June began the new energy for 2021. And so we're still in it, and we're entering into it in a deeper way in August. One of the most important things to remember as you go through all of the wobbles and the intensity and perhaps the new birth that you're in and that we're in as a planet right now is to remember that we are becoming new at an all new level of speed. So the disorientation, the emotional reactivity that can come seemingly from nowhere, and the spin that you might feel on certain days as a sensitive person, as an intuitive person, as a person who is conscious, it's part of the tapestry that we're in. So provided you're tending to your own ways that you reset yourself, whether that's meditation or physical practice or the way you're looking after and nurturing yourself, so long as you're tending to that, you should be able to hold your core as we go through this time and this phase. But that doesn't mean there won't be the wobbly days, and that's just something that we're all experiencing and going through. Because right now, as a human collective, it's a little bit like we get shook and then we get put back down, and then we get shook and then we get put back down. But when you get put back down, it's not actually just a relief from the shaking times that you will be experiencing. It's actually a reset and a beginning of a new you, just as we're at the beginning phases of a lot of change on the planet that we're in right now. So one of the themes that's going to start to rise more over summer, and certainly this month and beyond, is planetary sustainability. Now, this has been talked about for many, many years, but there's going to start to be a rising awareness and focus on this. So planetary sustainability in all ways is going to come into sharp focus. And just as we have seen in the recent years, this sharp focus looks many different ways depending on who you are and depending on what's going on. So planetary sustainability as a theme will bring with it a certain level of fight about that, a certain level of denial about that, and a certain level of breakthrough around that. So that's par for the course at the moment. A lot of the division energies that are at work and in play on planet Earth are very nicely causing a certain level of chaos. And if you aren't aware of what's going on and why you're having an emotional reaction, you're going to stay in that chaos, which to some degree will serve certain agendas. And for those of you that are wanting to remain clearer of that and freer of that, this is a really good time to pay close attention to the intensity waves that we're going through, sure, but understanding the ancestral healing that is taking place emotionally. People's emotional reactions are not just about what they're seeing in front of their face. our emotional reactions usually have history in them. So it's not to say that our reaction is incorrect or that we shouldn't do something about the thing we're reacting at. But what you're actually seeing right now is a lot of people not listening to each other because they are trapped in their own emotional dissonance. Our emotional dissonance is what is going to render us less useful, less available, less present. And one of the themes for this month is to remember that fear turns off our ability to use our senses. So fear turns off our ability to truly use our senses. Now, something you're sensing may put you into fear, but once you're in fear and once you're in that place, your ability to use your outer senses starts to diminish. And we're seeing a lot of this. Emotional reactivity is very contagious right now. So don't be too surprised if you come away from a conversation with someone or something you see online and you have been infected with that emotional reactivity, because we're all handing energy and emotions to each other all the time. So I'm hearing from a lot of people that you're triggered or you're shocked or you're thrown by some of what's going on out there. And I think it's the time for us to no longer be thrown, to no longer be shocked, to go, oh yeah, okay, this is going on. Their emotional reaction was contagious for me. Is there anything I need to learn in this? Am I letting go of some ancestral history, some wounding from a prior relationship or a prior moment in my life? Can I clear it and move on and perhaps proceed differently with that person, that group, that topic? Because it's really important we don't lose our core. We can all have moments where we're healing, where we're struggling, where we're, some of you might say, in lower vibrations, and that's part of the human healing journey. But if we completely lose our core, we become senseless. We no longer are feeling and sensing what's actually going on. We're trapped in our own emotional reaction and our own story of what's going on. So that is definitely playing out more than we've ever seen it before. And the message I keep getting from these guys is that's not going to go away. That's going to be here for the next 2 or 3 years. So it doesn't mean there won't be breakthroughs and change through that journey. But if you're someone who's getting caught in the emotional reactivity of others, this is a really good moment and time to notice that, step back. And anytime we're in a big emotional reaction, our body's kind of making our mind not make quite as much sense, or our mind is determined, or our mind is black or white, or we can feel our heart has shut down. They're like, oh, I'm not very heart open right now because I'm in defense, or I'm in upset, or I'm just horrified, or I'm on the floor. It is a contagious energy, and that doesn't mean that we don't need to look at our side of the street when we also react, but a lot of people are senselessly reacting right now. So just know that's the climate. Look at the part of you that is healing from that and learning through that, and then move on, because it's going to be around. The ancestral healing piece is really important. So ancestral healing relates to not only our own genetic line, but more importantly, in this case, collective human history. So a lot of the things that we're seeing right now echo things from human history. And that can be a great warning as to, okay, we need to pay attention to this because we don't want to recreate that. But it's also a cleansing and a healing, which is why it's hard to have much clarity at this time as to where we're going and which way we're going, which I think is something that will be top of mind for many of you. But this is going to be a slow process of transformation because there's a lot of fight and wrestling that needs to happen for things to unpick, detach, and there will be spikes, there will be revolutionary moments as we go through the next few years. So the reason I'm bringing all of this up is because there's a sense I got when I was tuning in this morning that some of you might be a bit lost in it all right now. And that's normal, it's understandable, but as much as you can, try and hook out of the outer world triggers. If all they're doing is triggering you, come back to your core and remember that we're all creating the future every day. And if we've lost belief in that possibility, then we're too heavily focused on an area, a belief, or a thought that only wants to tell you that we're doomed. And that's as dangerous as us being doomed, because if you start focusing your energy there, that's all you're going to see, and you're going to help create it. So if you want a different future, think about how you could create that in your personal life, for yourself, for those around you, if that's all you can cope with, and then for others among you, how are you going to help create that for and in the world? And this leads me to an interesting energy strand that's moving through right now. It's a good question to ask yourself: are your past emotions creating your future, or are you? Because there are a couple of things that happen when we're locked into the ancestral healing side of the outside world. We are ricocheting into our inside world, sure, and having our own reaction to everything that's going on outside us, but where does that leave us? And are our old emotions coming up? And what are we then doing with them? Because this is a really deep healing time. So if you aren't experiencing active healing in your life right now, you might be in a situation where there isn't really time for that, or you're in an emergency or a shockwave, and so the healing can come later. Or if you haven't got any of those catalytic events going on in your life right now, but you just feel stuck or resistant, it's going to be really important for you to look at: what can I release? What can I let go? What do I need to release to move into my next future, my next phase? So if that resonates with you, you could use an affirmation along the lines of: I allow myself to release all that no longer serves me. I allow myself to release all that no longer serves me. And you may choose to write down some things that you want to release, that you're ready to let go of. And sometimes we can get paralyzed by what's going on in the outside world and forget that we're also part of the outside world. That's what I mean by the ricochet effect. The collective healing that we're in, that we might be observing, reacting to, feeling, it leads us back to in here. And so we also have to clear. So August is going to be a great month for letting go, releasing, clearing out that which you don't want, but do it consciously. You know, if we don't do that consciously with some level of regularity, a purge or a cleanse, it will find us. And often when we get backed up with situations, relationships, things that we've agreed to that are jarring for us, we can have quite a wallop that comes along to wake us up, that some of the things in our life we need to let go of. It's time. So August can actually be a really supportive month for conscious release. So if this resonates with you, I would sit down and write a list of what would I like to let go of in my life. And, you know, don't only focus on things or people. There's always an underlying energy in any thing or person that you're wanting to let go of or not be as close to anymore. So look underneath. What is it about that relationship or that commitment that you have that you're ready to let go of? What is the underlying energy and emotion that's holding you there? Because even though things will carry on in the outer world this month, as they always do, this is actually going to be a very good internal and healing time, which is interesting to me because I know many people are getting a bit more active in August than they perhaps have so far. But this is going to be a very good time to be internal and flush and clear and release, which is different to the internal that many of us experienced in 2020. So this is a great time to let it go, because after the healing moments, allow the magic to find you and be you is one of the two remaining themes for this month, and the kind of gift or the higher notes in the energy. So allowing the magic to find you and be you, and that relates directly to surprises, creation, and instant transformations will be the energy bright streaks this month. Some of you will already in the last few months have had some surprises, some creative booms, and some instant transformations, perhaps things that you thought were going to be much more difficult to change. Suddenly you realize, oh, that kind of changed for me, or I managed to navigate that better than I've ever navigated before. So be mindful of that magical energy of transformation and creation and surprise gifts, surprise moments, surprise relationships that wants to come in once we've healed and released enough of our emotional energy. So it's going to be an interesting remaining 5 months of the year, but I guess the one message that I am learning, growing through, becoming, and called to be a messenger of is we have this incredible power inside us, and it's not because we are solely special or unique. We are, but we're connected to not only everyone and everything here on this planet, but we're also being fed right now with a lot of high consciousness energy. And sure, high consciousness energy will make us take a look at the lower stuff. It will make us release. But that's why I say, don't see healing as something to do on a Sunday afternoon right now. You know, if you're even still watching this video at this point, that means you're resonant with some of not just the language, but the experience I'm bringing in this video. So healing now is an underscore of your life, but unlike perhaps 5-10 years ago, healing doesn't have to be as heavy, as intense, or as slow. It can be very fast, very bright. It can have a lightness and a brightness to it. And what it's doing is it's bringing us to a new place in ourselves so that we can be here to be part of the birthing of a new energy on the planet and a new consciousness. And the problem with getting overly distracted or only consumed by what you're seeing outside you that's negative or that's bad is that you're forgetting the power of spirit on this planet and how it is a lot bigger than any control agendas or anything else that might be flying around at this time, which I think we're all seeing more clearly and vividly than ever before. But a little like a very narcissistic personality type who wants everyone's attention in the room, you don't want to waste your life force giving it all your attention, because then you are just playing into the drama and the low energy that soul is trying to live in and use you to fuel. So try and see the shadow and the dark side of the world in that way so that it can be in a rightful perspective for you in your life. Some of you will be head on with it, and that will be exactly where you need to be and what you need to do. But there will be others among you who will maybe keep your eye on it, interact with it, but come back to what you're creating and who you are here to be right now. Okay, so thank you for tuning in. This month, we have just released 2 brand new energy alchemy meditations. I'm always guided with my monthly MP3s as to what's right for right now. And this month, they're 2 short meditations around 15-20 minutes each. One is called Embrace Your Body. One is called Embrace Your Beauty. And they're an MP3 set. If you are in my monthly members community, the portal, as ever, you get the MP3s as a part of one of the support tools that you get every month from me and members of my team. So if you haven't yet tried out the portal, we'd love for you to try it out for a month and see if it's for you. We offer many different tools and supports in there, and I do a deep dive for 90 minutes just focused on my portal community. So unlike a video like this, which is reaching hundreds of thousands, I get to zero in on the thousands, the small number of thousands that we have inside the portal. So if you want to try it, we'd love to welcome you. And there are many bonus videos and workshops in there as soon as you join. That's found at theportal.world, or if you'd just like to try the MP3s, they're at my website, leeharrisenergy.com. We always put links underneath. And lastly, we just completed Transmissions 2021, which was an incredible experience. It is now available as a fully virtual online retreat. We went through 5 different areas: magic, healing, expression, freedom, and joy, and took a good look at those energies, how they're available on the planet right now, but also how you can access and deepen your relationship to those. So some of it's grounded teaching from me. There's a lot of channeling in each of the broadcasts, and there are loads of support tools, audios, videos all around it. So check out transmissions2021.com if you wanted to experience that, because you can access all the replays, transcripts, everything right now, and you'll have lifetime access to it. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. We will play you out with a short excerpt from the new MP3s, Embrace Your Body and Embrace Your Beauty. Until next month, I hope you have a beautiful August. You did not come to this planet to assess your own levels of beauty. And you certainly did not come to this planet to obsess about your own levels of beauty. You will never know how someone else sees you. Just as many of us humans will be quick to dismiss the compliments we receive from others. That is how sure we are that they are wrong. We deny their words, their compliments. We push back on them. We deny their celebration and enjoyment of our beauty because we are refusing to allow it in. So we refuse ourselves and we refuse them. Imagine if you let go of refusing the celebration of your beauty. Imagine if you understood that your beauty is just one aspect of who you are, but that healing it can be very important to the totality of who you are if you are still struggling with understanding that to many people on this planet, you are beautiful in ways you will never understand. Yes, even those of you who have a healthy self-esteem around your own beauty, who perhaps see yourself as physically beautiful or attractive, you are still not seeing what others see in you.